What is science? First of all, you shouldn't think that biology or any science is just a collection of never-changing facts. You can be sure that the information presented in most of the textbooks is going to change soon. Science is an organized way of gathering and analyzing evidence about the natural world. It's a way of observing, a way of thinking, and a way of knowing about the world. Science uses a series of steps called scientific methodology that involves observing and asking questions, making inferences and forming hypotheses, conducting controlled experiments, collecting and analyzing data, and drawing conclusions. Scientific investigations begin with observation, the act of noticing and describing events or processes in a careful, orderly way. A good scientist can think something that nobody has thought yet while looking at something that everybody sees. That kind of observation leads to questions that nobody has asked before. After posing questions, scientists use further observations to make inferences. An inference is a logical interpretation based on what scientists already know. Inference, combined with a creative imagination, can lead to hypotheses, a scientific explanation for a set of observations that needs to be tested. Testing a scientific hypothesis often involves a designing an experiment that keeps track of curious factors that can change or variables. Inside the experiment, you need to keep track of the dependent, independent, and controlled variables. After the experiment is done, they collect all the data that results from it and analyze it. This data will help determine if the hypothesis is correct or wrong. Science in context. Good scientists share scientific attitudes or habits of mind that lead them to exploration and discovery. Curiosity, skepticism, open-mindedness, and creativity help scientists generate new ideas. Technology, science, and society are closely linked. Discoveries in one field of science may lead to new technologies. Those technologies, in turn, enable scientists in other fields to ask new questions or gather data in new ways. Technological advance can also have big impacts on daily life. Scientists share their findings with scientific community by publishing articles that have undergone peer review. In peer review, scientific papers are reviewed by anonymous independent experts. Publishing peer-reviewed articles in scientific journals allow researchers to share ideas and to test and evaluate each other's work. Scientific theories. Evidence from many scientific studies may support several related hypotheses in a way that inspires researchers to propose a scientific theory that ties those hypotheses together. In science, the word theory applies to a well-tested explanation that unifies a broad range of observations and hypotheses, and that enables scientists to make accurate predictions about new situations. When scientists explain why something happens, their explanation involves only natural phenomena. Pure science does not include ethical or moral viewpoints. Science can tell us how technology and scientific knowledge can be applied, but not where it should be applied in particular ways. The way that science is applied in society can be affected by bias. A bias is a particular preference or point of view that is personal rather than scientific. Science aims to be objective, but scientists are human too. They have likes, dislikes, and occasional biases. Studying life. Characteristics of living things. Biology is the study of life. Living things are made up of basic units called cells, all based on a universal genetic code. Obtain and use materials and energy. Grow and develop. Reproduce. Respond to their environment. Maintain a stable internal environment and change over time. The study of biology revolves around several interlocking big ideas. The cellular basis of life, information and heredity, matter and energy, growth, development, and reproduction. Homeostasis, evolution, structure and function, unity and diversity of life, interdependence in nature, and science as a way of knowing. Fields of biology, global ecology, biotechnology, building the tree of life, ecology and evolution of infectious diseases, genomics and molecular biology. Most scientists use a metric system when collecting data and performing experiments to be able to replicate one another's experiment, and because many experiments involve gathering quantitative data.